Street Fighter 6 is going to be an Xbox game. I'm in disbelief. Now that means a couple of things, right? That doesn't just mean, cool, we're having Street Fighter 6 on Xbox, and you know, you get to play or whatever. I mean, it's a bigger moment. It's the same moment that Final Fantasy 13, when Final Fantasy 13 appeared at the Microsoft press conference back when it was out on the 360, right, when it was gonna come out. It's almost that big of a deal. It's almost like, now we kind of normalize Final Fantasy. I don't know if Final Fantasy 16 is gonna be on Xbox, and they'd say it was exclusive or even console exclusive. And when they didn't say it was Street Fighter 6 was exclusive or console exclusive on the trailer, it had me think for just a moment. But obviously, this comes from the PlayStation state of play, so you know, they obviously were gonna spearhead it anyway. I just came in with the assumption that it was definitely going to be just a PlayStation game. They helped fund it again, that whole thing. They found success doing that, and that's what happens. I don't know, I can't tell you the story of how it's also an Xbox game, but what I can tell you is that I think that at Microsoft's press conference, Street Fighter 6 will definitely be there. Street Fighter 6 will be at the Microsoft press conference, happening in like less than 2 weeks now. It's literally, it's coming soon. This is definitely a more robust game than Street Fighter 5. It's getting a lot more push. There's a lot more money into this. The funding is there, and they're looking to make a comeback. Such a comeback like Street Fighter 4 did. So yeah, so this is a big deal, but this is following, I feel like, a path even before Street Fighter 4. This is definitely more similar to Street Fighter 3, Third Strike and stuff like that sort of high impact. This commentary feature, like as you play, if you want to do that, and that sort of gives you like this tournament style element. This is dope. I actually really think this is a game changer. This is going to be incorporated in some other games. I do believe that. And we live in such an esports centric like world now. So the commentary, right? I just love staring at the fact that that says Xbox. I'm sorry, guys. This is one of those things. So a thing to note, one of the big things is that I love this feature. This is going to be a big, huge feature for fighting games. I actually think that this is going to change the way they do fighting games in the future, and this will definitely see the light of day in other fighting games. How fast? I don't know. Being that this game is most likely a year out, you're going to start to see things like this incorporated in the future. And I'm not sure how backwards compatible this can be with already gameplay, or you have to like sort of inject this into, you know, the framework of newer games as you're making it. But the one thing I will say is that commentary, esports or otherwise, with a tournament level, usually has two commentators. So they're gonna make him speak, you know, relatively quickly, like almost like he has no breath. That's the issue. It's almost like gonna have like no breath as he's going through move to move or whatever, unless they somehow just add another person, which they might do. But the commentary features, when it comes to like esports and tournaments, people kind of riff off each other, breaking down what's happening. It's usually not one person. This makes, I mean, it makes him sound like he's a genius, or like just so in tune, focused. But and that's because, you know, the way the algorithm plays of what you're doing and then what the line is gonna say or whatever. But it would be great if they were able to incorporate a second commentator that it kind of weaves in the conversation of like, this is happening, and then the next person goes, and then the next person goes, and it kind of just does that back and forth. Will they do that? I don't know. Right now, this is such a huge step into the fighting game genre that I'm not so sure. Less than 2 weeks, the Microsoft Xbox press conference is happening. They're gonna show this, not only because they're not gonna, and I don't even think they're gonna show the same thing, and that's because I think they're doing testing of the game right now, and they're letting a few people play it, and that's because there's already leak footage happening. So I'm gonna share this But let's talk about the fact that we have a small roster happening. So we have another confirmed character, which is like Cammy. So like, there's some Cammy gameplay right here. Look. Let's full screen this, so you can see Cammy's in the game. So already, ladies and gents, you got a little list right here. Cammy's in the game, and as a matter of fact, people were talking. There was another list. This is Cammy gameplay footage, really quick, and she does her super. Straight up's gonna knock out. Oh, well, there is a British girl in this game, and that's in that picture. So that was a straight up, like, her move knocks out. I like that Cammy's in the game. We'll dive into it. So this is leaked apparently as well. We have a list of characters here: Ryu, Ken, Zangief, Dhalsim, E Honda, Blanca, Guile, Chun-Li. These are the ones we know. We know those guys. Those are the classics, technically. Then we have new people. New people of which I don't know. I know her. I forget her name now. And then that looks like Akuma. I mean, it is Akuma. Luke, which is new. He's like almost the protagonist for this new adventure. And then we have the new monk that we saw from the trailer. The girl to the bottom right, that's American. The very last, second to last one. She was on, like, the last frame that looked like the whole Battle Network frame. Where you look like it's like the online hub. She came up on the screen of who you were possibly going to face there. So this list looks to be kind of accurate. I think there's definitely more people in between here. Because they just showed Cammy, and Cammy's not a part of this list. I'd imagine there's just gonna be a newer trailer when Xbox does their press conference on June 12th, which is a Sunday. Regardless, there's a lot of excitement on my end just on this. There's a lot of things I feel like Xbox needs to do to shape up. I'm not sure if they're gonna do it compared to what PlayStation does on a daily basis or bi-monthly basis. But this once exclusive now is easing me in the fact that it is now an Xbox. And the last 6 years that I've not really played Street Fighter that much, and I have a PlayStation. I get it. It's never been like that friendly online console for me, and I loved online gameplay. It's just harder to get into for something like this, like a fighting game and stuff. So I'm looking to get back into the fight.